Hello and welcome back to another Legacy gameplay video. If you haven't already, please take a moment to like, comment, and or subscribe. Thanks, enjoy. Hello and welcome to another Legacy gameplay video. Today on the channel, I'm going to be playing this Artifact Nadu hybrid. It's pretty sweet and it's combining two decks that I love. You're combining kind of that 8-cast strategy into a Nadu shell. And this is something I've kind of played with similar effects before, but this is new. And so this list comes from MTGO, and it has 5-0'd a couple times, as well as recently gotten like a top 16 and a challenge in the hands of DN Solver. And I've taken a lot of these artifact naughty shells from him. This list, it has kind of all the zeros you would expect: your Lotus Petals, your Mishra's Baubles, your Mox Opals, your 4 Urza's Baubles, and your Tormod's Script. And so that is already really powerful because now you have access to Mox Opal. Mox Opal is kind of busted. You get 4 cameos. Well, everybody kind of knows that this card is good. You get your cameos, your Emrys, your Pinnacle Emissaries, and your Nadus are kind of all card advantage-y creatures. So your Emrys work really well with the zeros, especially the 8 baubles. The Pinnacle Emissaries obviously work well with all of those baubles. The cameos also fuel your Mox Opals, and with your extra mana, they gives you clues to crack. And then because you're doing all of that, you're playing with with the Urza Sagas, of course. And so Urza Saga can find your one of Shuko to also pair with your Nadu. The thing that's going to be kind of cool here is when you're going off, the Pinnacle Emissary can keep making creatures for your Nadu to then trigger with, right? So it's kind of similar to when people used to play the Springheart Nantuko, but now you just get to play the Pinnacle Emissary and kind of pop off with it on its own or pop off with it with Nadu. So I think we're going to see that come up, and that seems really strong to me. And yeah, I'm not sure how well this is going to mesh together. In advance, I'm already a bit worried that one copy of Shuko isn't going to be enough, but I'm definitely very interested in this main deck. It looks very strong. In the sideboard, we have 3 Consigned Memories, 2 Metallic Rebukes, 3 Force Negations. So all of those just kind of help with your various combo matchups. Harbinger of the Sea is generically good against anything with greedy mana. Obviously, Dismember makes sense, just having some removal. Your opponents are going to play things like Clarion Conqueror and Collector Oove, and sometimes you need those off the table. Fairy Macabre has a strong answer against the blue-black Reanimator decks, and Haywire Might, which I do think any Urza Saga Emry deck should be playing. So I like a lot of what's going on here. I am, like I said, worried about the one of Shuko. I am worried that this cameo doesn't have any targets other than Force of Will. Not having something like a Thoughtcast is a little concerning to me. I do kind of worry about Wrath of the Skies as well. Um, Typically in those Pinnacle Emissary shells, you would have Kappa Cannoneer, and that kind of insulates you from Wrath of the Skies, Meltdown type effects. So I am concerned about that. But yeah, the deck's still powerful and proactive. Nadu can build you out of those blowouts really quick. So without further ado, let's hop into round 1 and see how this goes. Okay, welcome to round 2. Yes, I did say round 2. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record on the first round. I'm really bummed about it because it was actually a really sweet match against just like a mono black deck. But we did get there, and hopefully we do the same this round. So we get to start off our opening hand. Seems pretty decent. I don't recognize our opponent's usernames. I don't know what they play, but we can go turn 1 Emissary and a Lotus Petal, Urza's Bauble, Tameo, and that sounds pretty good to me. We have a pretty quick cranial plating we can get down to make everything threatening. I like this hand. Do wish we had like a Mox Opal, but that is okay. Our opponent is forcing this. That is totally reasonable. Forcible pitching Murktide Regent. Okay, so we'll still go ahead and get this Tameo out there. See what our opponent has for us. Underground Sea, Tameo of their own. Okay. I don't know why I didn't play this bobble. I should have played the bobble down so I could flip. Oh, we are going to attack. So yeah, I'm gonna not cast that. Oh, I'm still in blockers. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this and try to resolve this cranial. Oh, I should have played the Torment Crypt first to get it down around days. We're gonna try to get that down. So I guess I'm gonna play the bobble. I would like to play the crypt. If they daze it, I'm gonna feel really dumb. Do I want to play around days or do I want to play around thought seas? I'm just gonna run it out. At least if they have days, then they can't reanimate and entomb. Okay. Thankfully, it resolved. Actually, Murktide Regent means that this might just be the tempo version anyways. Okay, so they're gonna attack. I kind of do wish I knew which version they're on. It's interesting because if they are on tempo, they are leaving up potential bowmasters here. I'm still gonna crack. It's kind of awkward. It makes cranial plating slightly worse if I want to go that route. Okay, they actually have days in hand. They're fetching here. I think they are going to bowmaster us, which is unfortunate. And yeah, so we can confirm that this is the tempo version. I'm surprised they wouldn't wait on that because they could have tried to pick off Tameo. So I think that was a bit of a miss from our opponent there. So now the question is, do I even want to flip the Tameo? Because if I flip the Tameo, this Orc army is going to become a 3/3. And it blanks their Bowmaster. It doesn't blank their, well, sort of. Tameo doesn't do anything, but even the Orc just attacking for 2 deals pretty cleanly with the Tameo. The upside, though, is I can just spellbomb their Orc. Well, I guess I can't spellbomb it right away because I don't have the mana to spellbomb and flip. I still think it might be worth it. Let the Tameo kind of essentially stay at 2, then deal with the Orc and start ticking up the next turn. The other thing is I can just start chonking them for like 5 in the air. It's awkward because it makes me weak to Fatal Push, but it's a lot of damage. So, interesting. I do think I'm going to flip. Let's remember to attack first. Drawing second cranial plating almost makes me wish I had not gone this route. So we're just going to F6 through our opponent's turn. Okay. Wasteland is annoying because we're a little bit light on mana, but I don't even think they're supposed to fire it off. I think they're supposed to wait until they see an Urza Saga. Oh, do they have Kaido here? That's bad. That's like worst possible. Honestly, the game's probably over. Stay on tap, have a Planeswalker in play, Wasteland or Springs. Yeah, the game's probably done. Okay, so the question is, do I play the Saga out and give them something to Wasteland, or do I wait and hope that they just Wasteland the Springs and then play it? I guess I'm going to wait and just look like I'm light on mana, which, I mean, I am light on mana. Now, there's a real chance they just don't even attack here. We're going to get rid of the token, kind of slow down their clock, see what they do. Okay, activate Kaido, Tameo. Makes sense. Hey, flip their own Tameo. Yeah, they wasteland us, which is not good for us, but it is, what we wanted to happen. So let's get this cranial plating down just so our construct is as big as possible next turn. It's a shame there's not like a Triad Arbor in this deck. Shoot it up, make him huge. Okay, opponent attacks, puts us down to 6. They activate their Kaido. God, we are in such a bad spot. And what are they doing? Some Murktide? Yeah, they're pausing, which means this is probably a Murktide Regent. Another coif. Oh, they surveilled it into their yard and escaped it. That's kind of cool. You don't actually see that come up a ton. Okay, so that's kind of nice, actually, drawing a Pithing Needle for turn. So we can stop the Kaido from at least plussing anymore. How big are these things going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can also actually just block Kaido with it. We can block Kaido either way. And in fact, we should block Kaido either way. So I guess we're better off keeping our Lotus. Well, we should name Tameo. That's actually what we should do. I don't know why I'm thinking so hard about this. Okay, down. I'm sure they have to have a Fatal Push, though. Like, we haven't given them a target for one all game. There's no way they don't have it. Okay, so they have ticked their Kaido up and just made an emblem. So we are going to go ahead, make our guy. Our guy is a 6/6. We have to block Kaido, and we're dead. Okay, so how do we sideboard for this? I think we want Dismember to try to kill Tamios and Bowmasters and Goyfs of all kinds. Soil is like not actually that good against them. Between the Thoughtseizes and just like none of their cards you want to actually force other than like Murktide Regent and Kaido, which you usually can't force. Metallic Rebuke seems okay. It seems better than Force. Okay, game 2. Our hand doesn't have any lands. We're going to go ahead and mulligan this one. The funny thing is, we could keep and play turn 1 Emery, and then just buy back Lotus Petal every turn and hope that's enough, but that's like obviously not a good plan. Oh, I keep forgetting about these Tormod scripts we don't care about. So it can shrink another Goy, so not the worst thing in the world. We are going to keep this. We are going to pitch. Yeah, I guess we're going to pitch the Tormod script. It's funny, I actually don't hate the crypt here, but we are going to pitch it. The thing that would have been nice about it is it would have allowed for turn 1 Emery, and maybe that's good enough of a reason, but we're going to lead. Currently, our plan is to lead turn 1 Seat. No, we're going to lead turn 1 Saga Waste, or Saga Pithing Needle Name Wasteland, turn 2 Emery, turn 3 get Shuko, and to Uncounterable Nadu. And I'm hoping that, I mean, that sounds like a good plan. It does get broken up by Thoughtseize, so there's the possibility that this was actually not smart, because then we're kind of wasting this Urza Saga. Okay, well, that was really nice for us. So we're going to play Emery around Days. Okay, they do have the Force Will. Oh, it's also a wizard. We could have just made it uncounterable. That was bad. That was so bad. Opponent had end of turn, fetch for Safale. On their turn, they're casting a Brainstorm. Man, I am kicking myself for that. Just awful throwing my Emery into the void. Why was I thinking it wasn't? There's something that's not, I feel like, that I used to play in these artifact shells. Okay, right now it doesn't matter. Notably, they are going to have Fatal Push online this turn, so hopefully they don't actually have it, but they could. Okay, so we're going to play our Nadu. Even if they have it, we're going to get at least our 2 triggers, actually, so it's kind of not that big of a deal. Though we do need a land, which we don't hit. Okay. Oh, we hit it. Oh, man, we could have kind of gone off here. That would have been actually so sick to go Nadu into Emissary dudes. So do we want to make a guy here? I actually don't think we do. So we would only make 1, but we do get to draw a card, which is relevant. Yeah, we are actually going to try to do this. And if they daze us, they daze us. I meant to I meant to follow that up with the Mishra Bobble. We are not playing our cleanest. Definitely not our cleanest. The Bobble follow-up would have been really nice because we know they can't have, they couldn't have had Orcish Bowmasters here. Okay, so they have their Wasteland. They tried to activate it. They forgot about our Pithing Needle. So we're going to go ahead and play Uncounterable Nadu. Get at least 2 triggers off of it. Okay, we had a land. And so we are going to this time be smart about how we cast our Emery. I wish I had been able to name Robot with one so we could buy that back, but I really wanted to make this uncounterable. But maybe we'll flip. Okay. Actually, we don't have a volcanic island, which seems like a mess. And okay, hitting Tamia there is nice, so we can keep going. Okay, they are F6, so that no counter magic, and they're just conceding there. That's fair. That was a lot of advantage. Okay. This hand, yeah, we're gonna keep it. This hand is funny. Definitely a funny hand. So I think we're supposed to go Cavern on Robot into Mox Opal into second Pinnacle Emissary, just to make sure we keep Metalcraft. That only works if they tap out here. And they have to not daze our Mox Opal, I guess. Okay. Opponent is on 6. Okay. I think they are going to fatal push us if we go for that line. I still think it is our best line. Is it actually? It might make more sense to. I'm going to name Wizard actually, because I think they have fatal push. And this way we can play turn 2 Emery. Maybe turn 3 we get to activate Saga. I don't know. If they wasteland us, we're going to feel real silly, but giving them the ability to surveil there when they already mulliganed is not the best thing, but that is what it is. Okay, so they're leaving out Bowmaster here. They're pausing. Are they going to consign this? That would be gross. I'd be so mad. Okay, so we're going to play our Emery. Okay, cool. We have some redraw effects in there. We don't necessarily want to use them to draw cards, but even just getting our Mox Opals closer to active would not be the worst. Hopefully we're able to draw a Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal would be perfect. And then we can actually petal into Emissary, into petal again, into second Emissary, kind of get set up for a lot of creatures so that we really get to pop off once one of these Nadus hits. Okay, so drawing Cranial Plating for turn. Unfortunate when we really wanted to hit a land or like a 0-mana artifact, but not the worst thing. Okay, they're consigning this, which is kind of nice. It's kind of a waste of their consign. I mean, they don't know that. And I think it is correct to consign it. We just happen to not have the second land. Okay. That resolving is huge. Now we have Metalcraft. Hopefully they don't have another consign. Okay, no wasteland, which is nice. Oh, here comes Kaido. So that's, oh, no Kaido. Sweet. Love that for us. Yeah, it's interesting. So we have the 1-mana thing. So we could get like a Lotus Petal, try to cast Emissary, and try to do stuff like that and kind of go wide. Or we can just get Shuko, which is what I'm going to do because we have the uncounterable Nadu and we have a second one in hand. I guess the downside to this is if they have Fatal Push, then like we only get the 2 triggers off of this Nadu. And we might not hit another land and be able to cast the next one. But actually, they don't even have a way to trigger Revolt right now. Sweet, they don't have it. Oh, that's really good for us. I would like to flip one more land before I cast a Pinnacle Emissary so we can get it around days. Okay, so I'm just going to cast this Mox Opal and play around the days. We give up. We give up a body this way, but that's okay. Or a potential body, I should say. I think this game is over if this resolves. Force pitching consign. Okay. Do I want to do anything else? I don't really feel like I need to. We can actually cast that from Yard next turn, so I am actually going to do this. Okay, sweet. And we're gonna Shuko again. Keep going. That's a pretty good one. So this is so sick. We just get to cast our 0-mana artifact, make a guy, and Shuko it. This game is done, so. And reveal a Metallic Rebuke. Gonna always yield to the drone. Wow, hit another 0-mana artifact. Can you say combo? Shuko onto new drone. Yep, we'll name Wizard again. Or maybe I'm supposed to name Robot with one of these. Yeah, because if I name Robot, I could actually have played the Pinnacle Emissary and then just kept going even harder. I was looking at this Tameo, but who needs Tameo when you have Pinnacle Emissaries? Okay. So now we're going to get twice as many. We're not going to mill out, opponent. I actually don't know why you're still battling. I'll name Robot this time. It doesn't matter. Actually, there's one left. Okay, so we'll play this Tameo. Okay, equip the Tameo, and we'll play this Mishra's Bauble, and equip there, and another one to keep going. Look, it is entirely up to our opponent if they don't want to concede, but like they have seen that we have a counterspell. They've seen we have removal. They've seen we're just going to keep going. I don't know. Maybe they have some sort of kill spell that I'm not considering, or uncounterable board wipe, or maybe they think we're going to mill out, because that actually is a bit of a concern if I just keep not doing. Okay, they have conceded. they have finally seen enough. In reality, I was just going to play the cranial platings, and that would be lethal. Cool. On to the next round. Okay, time for round 3. This opening hand is kind of interesting, right? We have the Cavern for the uncounterable Nadu. We have Force of Will. We have Lava Spur Boots to go with Nadu. The awkward part is we don't have additional lands, but we do have 2 baubles, so we have 3 looks at them. So I'm going to go ahead and keep. We're going to gamble. It may be wrong, but here we are. Okay, opponent is leading with an Underground Sea. If they thought sees us, then I will be sad. Okay. We're not going to fight over it though, but this does make me sad. Yeah, they're probably going to take the Nadu. Yep. So sure enough, Nadu hits the bin. And what will we draw? Hopefully we draw. Okay. That's actually a really nice draw. So drawing Cameo means that we can play it on 1 here, and it is uncounterable. And then we can go ahead and let's take a peek at their hand. So they're going to wasteland us. That is unfortunate. And we're going to wait on the second draw because if they, I mean, I guess there's no real upside because we'd look at a different card. But some of these Underground Sea decks play Nile Spellbound in their main. So they are brainstorming. It's kind of nice because it means they're not super likely to wasteland us. Though I'd rather them use their wasteland on this cavern than on the Urza Saga, I think. Well, I guess that's only true if we draw another mana source. Okay, so they're fetching, Fatal Push, another Goyf. Okay, so it is a tempo gamer. We will go ahead and draw a card. Okay, Tropical Island is nice. Nadu is obviously nice. So we'll go ahead. We're going to take Urza's Bobble because I do think I want to draw immediately. And so we're going to play the Tropical Island. Lava Spur Boots. Okay. This is really nice actually because we can equip the boots to the Emery, and that way if we draw, they can't even like kill it with a Bowmaster in response to the draw trigger. This does mean that we don't have Force of Will with days or Force of Will through days backup. So that's a little unfortunate, but I'm feeling okay. I guess the one thing is this kind of plays into the Nile Spellbomb that I mentioned they could have. Thoughtseize, that sucks. I'm sure they're going to take our Nadu here, which I don't want to happen. I'm going to force, if they have a Daze or a Force Will of their own, this is kind of a blowout, but I think it's worth it because the upside to getting Nadu out with the boots is pretty high. Okay, so sure enough, Nadu's not going to come down next turn. Stalactite Stalker is not one that I was expecting. It's not a very commonly played card. So single black mana, menace creature. At the beginning of your end step, if you have descended this turn, put a +1/+1/+1 counter on it. Then you can pay 3 to sack it and give a creature -X/-X, where X is this creature's power. So essentially, this is going to grow every turn when they fetch or wasteland or whatever. Okay, so we can play Saga here, and then next turn we can play Nadu or make a guy, or we could play Seat here, play Saga the next turn. I think we want to play the Saga because we would like to get to the Shuko if we can help it. It'd be so nice if we could just buy back these Seat of the Synons. Okay, so they have Nethergoyf on top of their deck. You know, I was talking about getting Shuko with the Urza Saga, but we can also just get Tormod's Crypt and shrink their Nethergoyfs if that's something we're interested in doing. I don't think that's likely to be what we want to do. So Nethergoyf will resolve. Oh, this is smart. Well, I guess it doesn't make a difference. But they're just triggering descend. So their stalactite stalker will get bigger. They did bin a Pluto Delta. So make our construct, or we can make our Nadu here rather. So now the question, is it better to make Nadu here, or is it better to make the construct? If we make the construct, it's a 2/2 that can block and die. Nadu can potentially trade off or bounce off one of these Nethergoyfs. So I think we want to do that. Though if they have fetch in hand, then they get to fetch with their stalactite and then kill it with stalactite stalker. So I guess that's going to be true regardless. Yeah, I think we're better off with the net or with the Nadu. I'm actually gonna leave Emery back because there's a non-zero chance I end up blocking with it. It's unlikely, but it may be necessary. Let's see what happens here. Hopefully they just pass the turn and don't do anything. Okay, so they have instant sorcery land in hand, or I mean in yard. So what can they do? They can artifact, not an instant. Creature, not an instant. Yeah, I think this is good. Oh, I didn't consider Bowmaster. That stinks. That was bad. That was bad. I should have just taken the damage. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, man, that stinks. So I think I have to make a guy and get Tormod's Crypt here. Oh, I should have thought of Bowmaster. That was silly. That was very silly. So we are going to play our Lotus Petal. Yeah, this Emery can currently block the Orc. The Construct can block the Nethergoyf. Oh, and then, well, no, we don't block Nethergoyfs. And yeah, so currently we are sort of almost living. Okay, petty theft. That is really unfortunate. That kills us, right? No, I guess it doesn't kill. Puts us to 1. And then if they have a brainstorm or fatal push in hand, then we are dead. Go ahead and get rid of one of these Nethergoys. So we are going to block and Tormod's Crypt you. Yeah, so their already lethal threat gets slightly more lethal. Okay. So we can do here. Play our guy. Where is our guy? Oh, there. He's on the screen. Okay. He is uncounterable. We're gonna make some blockers. Well, some wannabe blockers can't block things on the ground, unfortunately. So the two of these guys can block Stalactite Stalker, and then oh, we're just dead. We are just dead because then yep. On to game 2. We're gonna bring in the Dismembers. And Dismember seems really good against them. Force of Will seems lackluster. We'll bring in Rebukes, I guess. Why not? Okay, yeah, this hand is great. Keep, obviously. We're gonna Warper Pinnacle Emissary, and then we get to go Petal, Tameo. I think we might have actually messed up. It's possible we should have just led with the Saga. Get a guy, and play Tameo. Pass the turn. So here's where, it would be real nice if we still had like Thoughtcast in the deck. But that's okay. Let's see what our opponent has for us. Okay, Flooded Strand, crack that, Ground Sea, Thoughtseize, Goy, Stalker, push on Tameo. Not a bad one. Not a bad one at all. Oh, redundant Tameo right off the top. And go ahead, attack you for 2. Hopefully we're able to hit a land next turn, because we can start making very large constructs. Oh, well, never mind. They're going to wasteland us. Fatal push into wasteland. Our board looks exactly like it did a few seconds ago. Crazy. But thankfully that does favor us to them. Okay, second Nadu off the top is a bit rough. Go ahead and attack them for 2. See what they have on this turn. Hopefully it's not another wasteland. Okay, polluted delta into, this is going to be Thoughtseize. Joke's on you. I have 2 of the same card. Okay, we have them down to a 7-turn clock. No threat is surprising to me. Hopefully they're not going to just play a Barrowgoyf next turn, because we would lose pretty hard. Okay, get in there. Cannot play these Nadus, of course. So we will pass the turn. Okay, that wasteland sucks for us. The fact that they're tapping it is a bad sign. And there's the Barrowgoyf that I was really hoping they would not have. Okay, these draws have been atrocious. I think it is pretty safe to say we're dead here. So I'm just going to go ahead and concede and we can move on to the next round. Okay, welcome back to round 4. We are on the draw. Our opening hand is kind of interesting. So we could play turn 1 Tameo, we could play turn 1 Emery, we could play turn 1 Pinnacle Emissary into other things. It's missing a second land though, and that's a little rough, but I am going to keep, and I'm going to play the turn one Emery. The reason we're going to play the Emery is because the Emery can draw additional cards. Okay, Prismatic Vista means it's a strategy where I'm less likely to want to play it. Okay, Tameo of their own. So my guess is this is like the Jeskai Wizards deck. Yeah, I don't want them swordsing our Emery, but unfortunately, we cannot control that. So we are going to Mishra's Bauble. In a perfect world, we would only bauble ourselves here. Or I should have done that first, actually, because if we bauble ourselves and hit a land, then I don't play this bauble. So we weren't going to hit a land, so I would have cracked this one. Anyways, I guess there's no reason to bauble myself since I'd already played the second one. I was just, in my head, I was going to do it, so I continued through with it. So let's see what we draw here. Hopefully we draw a land to go with the Lotus Petal we know we're drawing. On our turn, we can play Cameo, Pinnacle Emissary, or not Tameo, sorry. We can play Pinnacle Emissary, Lotus Petal, Tameo, potentially. Urza Saga, not a bad draw. I think I want to counter this Brainstorm. The fact that they're doing it, they could be looking for a land. The fact that they're doing it before even attacking with their Tameo, I think they're going for a land. Part of me wants to keep it in case of a Swords to Plowshares, but I am just going to go ahead and use it. We are going to pitch. We're going to pitch the Pinnacle Emissary. We actually, I think, should have pitched the Tameo because I think we're going to be effectively using most of our mana. Okay, what else do you have for me? So they attack, they get their clue. Please, dang it. Okay, cool. Not exactly what we were looking for, but that could have gone much worse. They did not have the swords, so we can play. We can actually pedal twice and play the Nadu here if we want, or we can play Lava Spur Boots and Tameo. We could draw a card. We could attack with Tameo, make a clue. I think I want to play the boots, play the Tameo. I don't think I want to equip, and I want to play the bauble. And I'm going to wait for them to crack their fetch, and I'm going to bauble them now in case I draw a Force of Will. Most things I don't think I would actually be willing to force, but if they play like a fourth Airlingus here, then I would definitely be willing to force. Or, I think actually I was supposed to equip the boots to the Emery, because what I'm actually most scared of here is probably Flame of Venor on Destroy Boots, hit Emery, but if we had, but I actually don't know what the order on that card is. So I should check to see how that would. Okay, Cavern is a good draw. So they attack us. We know that they're going to brainstorm here, or we assume they're going to brainstorm. Yep, Sleeve are going to flip their Tameo. That's going to happen. They'll take up. They'll probably find a swords, kill one of these. Hopefully they hit our Tameo. Actually, really nice. We can play Nadu, equip the boots to it, and potentially kill their Tameo. Okay, leaving up. So we could do that. Or actually, we could just make a construct here since it seems likely that they are going to have swords. So I think I kind of like that. They could also have dress down here, which would make us feel silly. What is the most likely outcome? I'm actually kind of curious to see what other people would do here. Oh, this is actually a really tough choice for me. Well, I kind of think if they had swords, they would have cast it already, right? So the most likely thing is that they have dress down or counterspell. So we're going to do this. Yeah, because even if they dress down, then we can, well, I guess that doesn't work. Okay, nice. We have our trigger. We can draw a card, or we can, because we can buy back a bauble, or we can buy back a Lotus Petal to get a second activation. I think what we're going to do is we are going to attack first, see if anything happens in combat. Okay, so we put Tamio to 1. So what do we want to do? I mean, it's just less resources to draw a card, right? Kind of the same, except one way a land goes into play. How much do we care about? I think we'd rather bauble. So only land that goes into play that we'd care about would be Saga. So yeah, I overthought that for nothing. I'd rather just get information about your hand, which I am really curious what's in there. Okay, so ooh, did not mean to pass without playing that bauble. And so they did have the dress down. Thalia. Okay. I'm so annoyed that I don't get to draw an extra card here. They took Tameo up to 3. Okay, draw a card. Okay, so they get to do the Quantum Riddler shenanigans. It's a really strong combination. This does mean that unless they have Solitude, actually, even if they have Solitude, we can kill Tameo here, which is really nice. Oh, Pinnacle Emissary off the top. I think they're dead. I mean, they're not dead, but this game is about to end. I was going to get Spellbomb, but we are going to get Shugo, and we're going to go off here. So we're going to name Robot, and we are going to warp this Pinnacle Emissary. Actually, do I warp it, or do I just... I'm going to have plenty of mana. I might as well just play it. Man, this is sick. I guess there's no real reason to play these out yet, because I may hit a second Pinnacle Emissary. So start Shugoing things up. Okay, nice. We got another Saga. Saga's still weak against Stress Down, but having 1,000,000 mana, kind of good against Stress Down and most things. We'll go ahead and get Trop. Go ahead and equip to Nadu. I think I hit here twice. Okay, we do have to hit some Force of Wills before this can be like kind of a certainty. We're hitting a lot of lands, which is like not the world's worst problem. Okay, Force of Will number 1. That's really nice. Man, this is not the best thing to play on the computer, on Moto, I should say. Go ahead and warp this. I wish we had a Kappa in our deck. I think that would go a long way to being able to kill here. Oh, we have the double cranial platings we can find. So I guess we'll be able to just put a cranial plating on Tameo, put a cranial plating on something else and kill. Okay. This is also a situation where I could just like stop taking game actions and we'd be winning. We've drawn another Nadu, so we can do all of this again if we want. Okay. Would really like to find second cranial plating. Okay. Oh, well, we drew Aether Spellbomb, so that will do it. We are going to play Aether Spellbomb. We are going to play this cranial plating. I guess we can also just make double black mana, so we could move it at instant speed during combat. Opponent clearly just playing for the time you out angle. Spam permanents. Yeah, I have lethal, but this is too sick to stop. Go ahead, get rid of this. And where is my cranial plating? We're going to equip you to Tameo. 39-3. Seems decent. Seems like enough. Okay, boom. Okay, I overcomplicated that, but that was pretty sweet. Okay, so we have to move faster this game. We're going to bring in these Force Negations. I kind of want these Rebukes too. I'm going to bring in Haywire just because they might be a back to basics deck, and that would be really sad. So we don't need this Tormod's Crypt. I keep forgetting it's in my deck. We're going to shave on some Popples, I guess. If there's I don't think Aether Spellbomb's great, but I do like having it just kind of as a safety valve. And we can shave a single Lotus Petal. Really making our Pinnacle Emissaries less explosive every post-board game. Oh, right, I wanted these Rebukes. They didn't make their way in. Okay, screw it. I'll cut Spellbomb. It just like seems pretty weak. And shave a Pinnacle Emissary. This might be too much control magic because I'm not against like a counter spell. I mean, I'm not against like a combo deck, so maybe I'm overdoing it. But the last thing I'm trying to have happen is them to cast Wrath of Skies and me to not have something I can do about it. Okay, this hand doesn't really do very much of anything. It can cast a turn 2 Nadu and not have follow-up, but I do kind of like that it has Force Negation. I like that it has stable mana, Deafening Silence. You know, it's interesting because I don't feel like I care that much about casting too many spells in a turn, but I do care about it. I think I have to leave it though. It's just like not as scary as something like a Wrath of the Skies. I was wrong. I was supposed to play Urza Saga. Yeah, I was supposed to play Urza Saga, Mox Opal. The next turn, play Seat, Mishra's Bauble, and have access to making constructs. That was bad. Hate when I'm bad. That's okay. So we're going to play Saga, Mishra's Bauble on my turn, have access to Force Negation on theirs, have access to Hardcast Force Negation, and then be able to start making threats without spending spells to do it. It's funny, despite having Nadu in hand, Shugo's actually a terrible draw because they can counter it and we cannot back it up with anything on our turn. We really actually wanted that in the deck. This does free us up to get Haywire Might and blow up Deafening Silence, though, if that is something that I decide I'm interested in. Okay, 3 mana. What you got? What you got? Teferi, maybe? Yeah, so we'll go ahead and try to counter this. If we don't counter this, we're not going to be able to counter anything else. I guess there was an argument for just waiting and killing it with the constructs, but I like this better. We're going to play Island here to play around Wrath of the Skies a little bit, and we can play Emery and still have construct available. We'll go ahead, pull them so we can. Oh my goodness. I just took myself off Metalcraft. Oh man. Wow. Kicking myself for that one. Wow. Oh, that's so brutal. Because now I won't even be able to make more. Or another one. That's so brutal. I don't really think I can win at this point. I'm just gonna go to the next game. I hate this Clarion Conqueror card. It's such a beating, and it's like you don't really want to have Dismember for it because Dismember sucks against all the decks that play that card. Oh man, this card's such a beating. I think it might be worth it to take Cranial Platings out. It's awkward because it obviously works well with Nadu, but their deck is full of spot removal. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, so mulligan our first hand. This is pretty good. We are going to ditch the Shuko for the same reasons that I kind of talked about last game. And then we are going to play out our Tamiyo, and we are going to play a Mox Opal now, just so there's no deafening silent shenanigans. Hopefully they don't do anything we care about here. Ponder is totally fine. Then next turn we'll have Metallic Rebuke up. We can start working our way towards getting some constructs going, getting Nadu in play maybe. Yeah, feeling good. Feeling good about this game so far. So we're going to attack with Tamiyo, investigate, boom. We're going to pay attention to our Metalcraft count this game. We have Rebuke or Force of Will available. Okay, what do you have for me? Lavinia. Okay, so I guess I need to go ahead and force this. I mean, not force, rebuke this. And hopefully we draw a second card for force. So unfortunately they have their own force of will. Pretty bad for us. But it does hopefully mean we're able to resolve our Nadu next turn and kind of just card advantage them right out of the game. Let's see what happens. My fear is that they'll Wrath those guys or play Clarion Conqueror again or Stony Silence. Okay. So they didn't do any of those things. They did leave up dress down mana, so I hate that. Okay, nice. We got a basic. I'm just not gonna run into dress down here. So we'll go ahead and get Shuko. Play this, and play Arnadu. And it resolves. Sick. Are they gonna swords in response to this? Yeah, that makes sense. It is unfortunate because it does mean that we could have made a construct, but it is what it is. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put the Shuko on the construct actually, and we're going to attack with both. Done a very short clock. And we still have a land drop for turn, right? Yeah, so we're going to crack one of these clues, because if we hit a saga, nope. So that's a little unfortunate. So attack me with Tamiyo, take your clue. Nothing? Okay, that's a little surprising to me. Now we have uncounterable Nadu, so that's terrific. Apparently, you can't name Nadu with Cavern of Souls, which I think is ridiculous. So we are going to Nadu it up, see what we can do. They're going to draw a card, look to draw Swords to Plowshares. Okay. Hopefully they did not hit. Nah, they are conceding. So go us. So 3-1 so far. Unfortunately, only 2-1 for you all, but still off to a great start. And let's see what we can do in the final round. Okay, so welcome back to the fifth and final round. We're actually against I guess I'll say a friend of mine. It's funny. So this isn't somebody I know in real life, but this is just somebody who I've played against a bunch of times online. And I don't know. They're just always very pleasant in the chat. And we've had some good conversations. So yeah, shout out to my opponent. Okay, so we did win the die roll. And yeah, I like this hand. So we have the option for turn one Cameo. We have the option for turn one Emery. We have a lot of choices. I think. So generally, I like to play the turn one Emery when I can. So I think I'm going to stick to that. And then turn two Tameo, turn three flip Tameo. No, I think it's better actually to lead with the Tameo here. Yeah, so I'm going to lead with the Tameo. If it gets removed, it gets removed. Then I'll have the turn two Emery. And then turn three, I'm going to flip Tameo and play Nadu, maybe. No reason to rush things out. Okay, so Windswept Heath, crack it for Scrubland. Okay, so they're on a Taxis style deck. I think they've actually been playing this for a while. They've played a lot of really cool, fun decks, but there's nothing wrong with playing this one too. So we are going to attack with Tameo. Clue. Yeah, take that 0 damage. Urza Saga. And it's a little unfortunate that we can't play this cranial plating too somehow. We are going to play this Emery. We're going to play this Emery. Okay, we've milled over our Shugo, which is unfortunate. Hopefully this Emery is allowed to stick around. Yes, this is a little awkward because we're running into a spot where we're setting up Bowmasters to be really good against us by not cracking here. So we'll see if they tap out for anything here or if they just leave up Bowmasters. Okay, Tropical Island. Was not expecting that. Green, black. Overlord. Okay. Ugh, a swing and a miss. We love to see that. I feel bad for them. So Overlord of the Pale Merc triggers on their end step. We're going to go ahead and look at some cards in their hand. Get this Grist. That's a cool one. And yeah, we're going to set up this Tameo to flip. Oh, and they have the Solitude. Well, they're hitting our Emery. I think that's actually probably correct. Oh no. Womp womp. So we'll go ahead and do that. And I guess in that case, we are just going to set up to make some constructs. So this is a situation where, yeah, not having the second Shuko in the deck is definitely punishing us a bit here. Nomads, was not expecting that. Are we going to get Nadu? So hopefully they don't have a Nadu here, and then we can get Pithing Needle off of Saga, which is not what I was expecting. Okay, go ahead and make a construct. We'll go ahead and make another construct. And then we're going to get Pithing Needle and Zencore. It's tempting to name the Aether Vial just to like mess with their mana, but I'm pretty sure that naming Nomads is correct. We're going to take up because there's nothing in our yard for us to buy back and go ahead and smack them for 4. Okay, glad to see they don't have a Felia there. Felia would really hurt us. So would a Dress Down. That seems unlikely in their creature deck. Hey. I think, oh yeah, I forgot they could Vial and Grist. That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. Okay, so there goes our Tameo. But we're still in a great spot. We have 2 4/4s. That Overlord is ticking down and getting close to being a real thing, but we can. So we can play. Oh, if we play Pinnacle Emissary into Cranial Plating, we actually just are presenting a lethal clock. So we're going to do that. Okay. So we are going to Cranial Plating, get a guy. And we're presenting lethal anyways. Whichever one we equip to is the one that's going to get swords. So I don't think there's actually much of a reason to equip to one of these. I think we wait until post combat and then just equip to the drone. I do think we attack directly. Okay. Oh, no swords. Love that for us. And then we'll go ahead and equip here and move to end step. Okay, so we got a win. And then let's sideboard. I don't really know what my opponent's doing. I know I want Dismembers. I want this Haywire Might. They showed us multiple creatures we care about, or artifacts and enchantments. We're gonna cut the Torabot's Crypt, and then we've cut the Baubles a lot, so why stop now? Send it. I think Aether Spellbound might actually be a card I was cutting there. their creatures don't seem to be expensive. Okay, we're going to keep this. This hand produces turn 1 Tameo and Emery. We have to give up our Force of Will to protection to do it. But I think that is just really strong. Well, there we go. Oh, I can't count. We don't actually have enough artifacts to do all of that. So we aren't just going to play Tameo. And usually I would prefer to play the Emery, but we're going to lead with the Tameo because I think they likely have swords and we have backup Tameo already. So they're going to swords. We're going to be okay with that. And they're just going to play Marsh Flats and pass. Okay, so we did draw a land. So we did not necessarily need to not play our things, but oh, that was almost bad. So we'll go ahead and play Tameo and play Emery. Possible we're supposed to keep one of those in hand for Force of Will. Okay, please do not Felia. Please do not Felia. I will be sad if you Felia. Please do not Felia. Do not Felia. Do not. They Felia'd. Oh, and they have the swords to plowshares. This stinks. I don't like this at all. Okay, so they're going to kill our Emery, which is really unfortunate. We really wanted that Emery. Okay, and we might as well block the damage. Oh, so if we block the damage, then they can kill Tameo instead. Would we rather have one than the other? Tameo's not going to do much with Bowmasters in play, but you could say the same thing about Emery. So I think Tameo just attacking is going to make clues at least, but the clues can just be eaten by the Felia if that's something that they're interested in. I think we'd rather have the clues. No, I'd rather actually have Emery buy back cranial plating so that we can. Well, I guess we won't even be able to trade because they'll just. So we have drawn an Emery. What can we do? I don't know what we can do. Cap out something. We cap out something and then force it on the way back down. But is that really getting us anywhere? Sort of not really. I do think it's kind of our best line of play though. Like we kind of need this Bowmaster to just not exist. So we'll go ahead and attack. So we're gonna go ahead and bounce this Bowmaster. We're going to use the Mox Opal because we're not going to have Metalcraft in a second. And then now that Bowmaster is not in play, we can draw a card. They will presumably try to Bowmaster, and I will Force of Will. And if this doesn't work out, then I will be sad because it'll be kind of a blowout. Dang it. So now they just get to make their guy much bigger. I don't know what our path to winning this game looks like from here. I think I'm actually good to just move on to game 3 because what's going to happen? So we can leave this back to block. They can just flicker it and get in for 8. Can't draw cards because then they'll just shoot us. The guy will get bigger. Yeah, we have nothing. Okay, time for the final game of this league. Okay, turn 2 Emery. I don't hate it. Do not hate it. There is the question of, do we actually play this Pithy Needle? If so, what do we name? I think I'm just going to wait on it. I'm going to play this Cavernous Souls. Turn 2, play the Saga. Turn 3, start making constructs. And have Emery going. And have Dismember. I think that puts us in a good spot. What do you have for me? Nothing. Ooh, Mox Opal. Okay, well, is a good one. Going to play it now. In case there's any Lavinia type shenanigans. I kind of want to play this Pithing Needle because I want the Mox Opal turned on for next turn. So I don't necessarily have to play the Saga. Okay, if they don't fetch, we'll name Polluted Delta, but I think they'll fetch. So we can name Nomads, we can name Shuko, or not Shuko. We can name Nomads, we can name Rest, we can name a different fetch land. We can name Sylvan Safekeeper. We are just going to name Nomads and Core. The fact that I was going to let me name Target Engines and Max Speed is wild. Oh my god, I forgot to play the Emery. Oh man. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, I can't believe I just did that. Oh man. Jeez. Okay. Wow. I can't believe I just did that. Okay. Worst things have happened. Well, it was pretty bad. We can play the Emery this turn and make a construct still. We can actually cast the Dismember though we're going to lose our ability to cast it shortly. Okay, so we are going to, and there's no rush to to draw the card. So we don't have to Mox Opal now. I guess the rush is they don't have Bowmaster available. So maybe we should have made the construct. Now they do. Okay, white, black. If this is a Wrath of the Skies, I'm going to lose it. Okay, Recruit of the card, not Wrath of the Skies. Whew. Okay. Can this thing get Clarion Conqueror? No, it's a 3/3. Collector Goof is also very good against us. Okay. What is the best play? The best play was to have had everything done a little bit sooner. Okay, so if you're going to Collector Goof, no. Because I can dismember this now, but then I don't get to make a guy. Oh, yes, I do, actually. I'll have 3 lands for now. So I can dismember here, which means I don't have it for Oof, but I can just put a lot of pressure in play here. We can get, what do I get here? I don't think it matters too much what I get here. I guess I just, do I get Haywire Might just to have an extra point of power in play? Get Mishra's Bauble, I'll try to draw cards, try to draw like into Force or more Dismember, but I think it's actually better to leave them in play. So I think I get Haywire Might, play Bauble, attack you for 7. I'm actually, I guess I'm getting Lotus. Okay. We're going to Bauble. We are going to attack. And so with this, if they don't have green mana to play Collector Oof, we can actually attack for a lethal on our turn. It seems likely that they will have the green for it. Otherwise, they wouldn't have fetched it. So we could try to draw Force of Will, even if they're able. So yeah, I think we just let them play it and just attack still for, I guess it would be 16, 17, 18 if I play the Cranial Plating. So yeah, we're just gonna wait. So if we draw a 0-drop, or if they have to crack a fetch, then I believe we can present lethal. So hopefully they have to block with Collector Oof. Hopefully they don't have anything too scary. Okay, so they are cracking a Polluted Delta. Okay, Collector Oof. They don't have anything else. Swear to God, do not have Dress Down. Probably Felia, which is also really bad. Oh, no. Oh, okay. I guess I regret not drawing a card. Oh, that stinks. That stinks. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get Haywire Might here, and we are gonna play Cranial Plating, and we are going to attack for 18. I think it's kind of free to attack with Emery. It's not completely free, but it's mainly free. They have Solitude, so we will force this, and if they have Dress Down, then we get hard punished. Or if they have Felia, we get hard punished, actually. Okay. That's not good for us. We just have to hope they draw dead. And we draw great. Okay, so they put Yoran in hand. And what do we get? Okay, so this is really nice. We're going to attack with both because if they have to crack this fetch and they take 9, they'll lose. So puts us in a good spot. If they block Haywire Might, they go to 1, which is fine. Hopefully fine anyways. If they have another removal spell, then we basically lose here. And so we have them on a 2-turn clock here. Very limited time to find things. Okay, they have... No, don't do things. Felia. Cute dog, but quickly becoming my enemy. Okay. Felia down. We'll play this out. I wish we had Surveil lands in our deck. That's got to be game. We do have another Dismember in our deck, so maybe we can hit it. We have a significant amount of time, okay, so they're just going to keep ticking up their grist. And for 3, ooh, we drew the Dismember. So you're saying there's a chance. Doing it on our turn allows for Force Negation, so I guess we'll do it on their turn. There's not much downside. Get out of here. Get out of here, Collector Oof. Now that I've unlocked this Mishra's Bauble, I wish I hadn't cracked that fetch. Well, that's a scary one. I would like one of those, please. I still have this Ursa's Bauble I can crack. Dang it. I missed it. Okay. If I play it, it's just going to die, so I can't play it unless I have things to follow it up with. If I had Lava Spur Boots, that doesn't really fix my problem. Oh no, that gives them access to Yorion. Thankfully, Yorion does not trigger Nadu, so it's not the end of the world, but it's not good for me. Come on, give me my own Nadu. Give me Nadu. Oh my goodness, these are very bad draws. Very bad draws. Okay, cast you, and we're gonna cast you. I don't know why I'm tapping so much. I have the artifacts. Shame I don't have like an Uro in this deck. Okay. So that means this Emery is not going to do anything. That is unfortunate. Okay. So they have removed my threat as we knew they would. How many creatures do they have in yards? They have 6. They can attack us for 3, 6, 12. And so we are almost dead. We're not quite dead, but we're definitely almost dead. And I think Force of Will means we are not winning this game. They can just hard cast it. Okay. Okay, so final turn. Final turn. That's not going to do it. Well, that's okay. We ended with a 3-2. Nothing too impressive, but I did just have a lot of fun playing the deck. So let's actually go back to the screen and talk about things. Yeah, a lot of these cards were good. I wanted more Shukos. I wanted more Shukos. Uh, what green Celestina. Yeah, so Tamio was not impressive to me just because there's like nothing to buy back. Like the only card you can buy back is Force Will. So, there was a few times I made an effort to flip her, and maybe I'm just not supposed to do that. But I feel like if you don't want Tamio to ever flip, she really maybe shouldn't be in your deck. She definitely gets better against combo decks post board, and we just didn't really run into those. But she is really good against combo decks where you can kind of just like slowly acquire more and more counter spells, and when she flips, you can draw them. But maybe that's just not a thing we're interested in doing here. I don't know what I would want to play instead. Maybe Kappa Cannoneer, because Kappa would have been really good for me at multiple points, though it does get worse without Tamio in your deck. But yeah, I could totally see 2 of these Tamios becoming Shukos and 2 becoming Kappa Cannoneers. The other issue with that, though, is your Force of Will count is kind of low already. So you're on, 21? So you really don't want to be below 20. So the line I'm suggesting takes it down to 19. So maybe that's wrong. Cranial plating was good. So actually, I don't know if it was that good. There weren't that many points where I really wanted to put that much mana into something. So I think one of these cranial platings could actually become second Shuko. And then maybe, yeah, still maybe 1 or 2 of these Tamios becomes Kappa Cannoneer. I think you leave 1 cranial plating in the deck just so you can have that kind of combo kill that came up. And Sync is good, Emery's good, Pinnacle Emissary is good, Not as good. Force obviously good. I definitely feel like I didn't know how to sideboard. Very macabre over just more artifact-based sideboard hate or graveyard hate is kind of interesting to me. I do get wanting the free interaction versus these reanimator decks, especially when you're on the draw and it's just, sometimes you're too slow. But I still think I would have preferred maybe like a Soul Guide Lantern or Nile Spellbomb type effect. Something that you can recur with Emery is really nice. But yeah, deck felt decent. It felt untuned but good. The normal artifact hate cards are definitely a problem. So your Wrath of the Skies, your Clarion Conquerors, your Null Rods, your Collector Ooves, all of those cards are going to be issues. But overall, I'm going to give this deck the stamp of approval. Super fun, felt powerful. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. I am planning to do quite a bit more gameplay videos moving forward. So we'll see if I'm able to follow through with that. But hopefully you do like it. If you have any feedbacks, things you do like to see, if you like the aggressive editing, you can let me know. If you're like, I hate this, just let it look natural. You can let me know about that too. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe. And definitely check out the new podcast episodes every other Wednesday. Thanks, and we'll see you later.